What's going on, guys? So this is a big old box. This is a Revived Gundam Zeta, and this is Master Grade Monday. Let's get to it. Alright, guys, so it is Master Grade Monday, and this one's a little bit delayed. I apologize for that, but we are going to be dealing with the MG Res. That's an ES or EFSF mass. That's true. Can we just Bandai? Side note. Bandai. We need to talk about this whole covering the words thing. We want to know what it is, but you keep covering the letters, the see-through letters with stuff. You know how hard it is to actually review the thing when I don't know what the name is? I mean, look, it's this easy to just not. It's really easy. See, I know what this says. I can read this. But this is just stupid. Stop doing it. I'm sure it looks great for dynamic stuff, but just have the letters come over the thing the people want to know. So I have an unnamed big mobile suit here. It's all blue and stuff. And it's got a gun that's shooting right here. Really nice burst effect. And speaking of bursting effects, you have definitely somebody blowing up there. I can't tell. What is that? A Girazulu, probably? Not a Zaku. It's green, but it looks more like a stormtrooper type helmet. This is the Argama down here. I believe the Nahel Argama, correct? That's a Star Jagan. I know that much. And then this is that, but it's like swooshy swooshy flying away. So that's flight mode. And then I can't. What is that guy? I guess it's the same thing, but just further away. So either way, you've got a whole bunch of them flying here. You got some shots coming across there, and you've got Bandai 2010, made in Japan. That's always a good thing. And then you come over to here, and you've got, oh look, there's the actual name. It's the RGZ-95 ReZEL. And we got a front view, rear view right there. Stuff I can't read because it's in Japanese, I'm not. But Ms. RW, no idea. And you got Wave Rider form. It's mobile suit and Wave Rider. That's funny. I legit didn't know who that was. Anyways, so Wave Rider form. So it does weird compacty things, and you've got lies. Got lies on the box. You got. We already talked about this. Bandai. More stuff I can't read. Does the things. You got head, shoulder, knees, and toes. I mean hip joint. Whatever. And you got RGZ-95, ReZEL, all the things. Rotate again. Look at that. All right. So you got figure cockpit. That just sounds dirty. I think that's supposed to be Riddy. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just some dude. You got marking, weapons, beam saber, yay. Grenade launcher. Sure it is. Akashon. Beam rifle. Yay. Stuff and things and stuff are happening there. Red arrows. And you've got, hey, he's got like a pink eye. And then you've got the obligatory thing standing next to runners of thing. And then little guy with the box, beep beep. And then swooshy logo there, PSPE. ABS, a warning of some sort about 15-year-olds. And then 4,800 yen. However, I paid a little bit more than that because I paid 51.99. Unfortunately for it, I got it at Japan House down in Houston because I needed something new to build. And, oh, wait, I forgot. Illustrated by Tenjin Hidetaka. I like your work. Unfortunately, it's upside down. And while it looks good, it keeps covering the letters. Can you help me out here, Tenjin? In the future? Just a little bit of, little help? Okay. Let's get to it. Alright, guys, so here we have the the Refined Gundam Zeta 95. trying to figure out the best situation for the lighting here. And as usual, with something blue, the white balance doesn't know what to do, so it's a little bit wonky. So there it is. Now, I will say this is my first attempt at any UC flyer type MG. Of course, I've done a couple of them from in the HG line, something, but is usually a faceplant flyer, that kind of situation. Like with wing and a couple of the other things. So just what I call faceplant flyers. They just kind of lay down on their heads and wings sprout or shield lands on the back and they go, they fly away. This guy, definitely not. This thing transforms. And being that it is a refined Gundam Zeta, which means it started with Zeta and continued on into this lovely boy. Now, of course, we know the RGZ from the past, stuff like that, and a so-called new version of that is out. So this is the much later, because being a number 95, and of course this is from the Unicorn days. So if I come in closer here, we'll see what happens. I don't even know. I don't know what's going to happen here. Might have too much light. I'm going to figure out the balance here. If I can zoom in this way, that's for dang sure. So if we look at the head, it has a slight glow to it. It is definitely a normal kind of gym style head. One problem I'm having is this comes off like really friggin' easy, and so does that. So I think I'm gonna have to do a tiny bit of gluinating to fix that. And now I can't actually get the head crest back in there. I think, at least with this little piece, I trimmed off just a little too much underneath there, and that's why it pops off. But yeah, it does the thing. Oh, let me just see if that helps anything. I don't know if it will. It might not. I'm confused. So focus right there on the head. Now I did add a little bit of chrome to the back side of the head there before putting this on there, so it pop a little bit. I like the details there. Though what's really strange, the head camera uses the same translucent parts as this, but then covers it with the red sticker, whereas the rest of these put the sticker and then the translucent. Now the way it's built, you can't do it that way. I mean, I kind of wanted to, but otherwise I couldn't do it. It does just have a ball joint mounted head. The neck itself doesn't do anything. It can rotate, and then the white piece goes flying. That is part of the gimmick. You have to have the white piece go flying, or as usual, it doesn't count. But it looks good, and then of course you can't turtle, but you don't want to right now. Well, that'll be a thing later. Once again, you do get nice translucent bits there for camera. On the chest, you do get some decals here, so I went with 011 like I normally do. And then you've got whatever that says right there. I don't actually know. VM. I really don't know. Don't care. Then you've got the unit number, RGZ-95. Then you have dry transfers here. Normal stickers up here on the shoulders. He does have head Vulcans, which is always a fun thing. More cameras here, which is cool. And you can rotate the arm. If you do it at an angle, you avoid the back there. Which, was that automatic? Did I do that without trying? Yeah, I did that without trying. Okay. So it does move in and out. Okay, pretty good thing there. But then you can also pull it out ever so slightly and get bit more butterfly. That is, of course, for transformational purposes. You see there's a little clippy there. I will show this off. So I might do a separate video for transformation, kind of how I do it for my transformers, because I think it's going to make this video way too long. So I might do just transformation. So from this to flight mode, back to bot mode, just so you guys can see it. I'll do that as a separate additional video. And I'll try to link it up either at the top or in the end card. Either way, I like the parts layering here, so you get the gray inside the vent, or whatever that technically is, on the shoulder here. Really nice part separation here. If you exercise just the shoulder joint there, you can get that far. And of course, the armor itself can move. But if you organize this a little bit better, without really going up, you can get a nice little high panageur there, except if it's ready, then he's more like a hey Minerva. And then you come down here, and it does do bicep swivel there, though just be careful, so it's going to want to drop down. He does have a double jointed elbow, good for about that much movement. You got some more dry transfers here in the form of this red and this white right there. It's pretty cool. And then one back here on the thing. I did dry transfers last, of course, just right before I tried to film this. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Also, I want to point out once again, this is the first type of suit I've done like this, anything based off of the Zeta, so to speak, and this was very interesting to me. Like I said, I've done other kinds of transforming suits, but nothing along these lines. Now, if you come down here, you do have what is quite possibly the easiest cockpit ever to open, and there you got your little pilot guy inside there, which frankly, that's not enough space between me and outer space. Just like a single door. And you've got more stickers up under there. You even got a good one there on the ribs. I like that. See, I don't like the fact that with the normal type of decals, they stand out. You can see the edges and stuff like that. I kind of wish they either came with all dry transfers or all decals. Having both kind of says like, look, I can make something look really awesome, and then, oh, I can also make it look kind of shit. I do like the part separation here for the crotch V fin. That's pretty cool. And then you have a very large crotch hook. I don't really have another term for that. Front skirts can come up. Once again, really good part separation with the gray, the white, and the blue. Also, I panel lined all of the blue in blue, everything else in gray. He does have torso movement. I kind of missed it, but he's got a ball joint in there, so he can tilt a bit, and it does rotate ever so slightly, though you're going to run into things like, I don't know, skirts. Side skirts are a little bit weird just in their design because they're just here. Do have a big floppy hinge there, and then it rotates. Just be careful with those. It's a very small post that they're on. The legs, due to transformation, are really interesting, to say the least. So you have regular kind of hip joint up here. Just be careful, please. He can kick about to there, if you like it. And then using the double jointed knee, you can do a perfectly good squat down. But I wanted to show something off here as the legs move. This is neat. Look. So you got all these hoses back here on the back of the legs. When you bend the knee, all of that tucks inside. I like that. I like that a lot. That's a cool engineering feat. There's a ball joint. It's a ball joint mounted hip, so he does have some shimmy shimmy, plus the thigh rotation. So you're going to get plenty of movement out of all of that. So that's good. And then, of course, the knee thing. And then if you zigzag the knee just a little bit, you can get kind of a little bit more space between your knee pauldrons and further out. Once again, very nice part separation. I did nearly screw up this leg when assembling it because I put the sides on first instead of the front. So this whole front section here needs to go on first, then the side sandwich kind of around it. And it was very hard to pull it apart. It did a tiny bit of damage, but you can't see it, so that's good. And then you have the hingy foot here. Hingy. Toe movement like that, and it can rotate, it can tilt ever so slightly, so you still got some good posability. Now, of course, the biggest problem I generally have is the super smooth surface that he is standing upon, like so. It does make it kind of difficult, but overall, it's a good looking suit, though the blue does kind of blow it away. Now we'll go to the backpack real quick because that's a really big feature that is attached to it, and it does look cool. I'm not gonna lie, I digs it. The thrusters are there. It does have a 3-pack of thrusters that are all kind of maneuverable. These are actually on ball joints here. I do like the dry transfers everywhere. They look pretty good, and if you really want to, you can kind of spread them out a little bit. Mostly that's for transformation, but it can do that. It's fine. And then this part has some translucent in it right here, which is cool. I don't know why it's there, but it is. And you can have this kind of in however arrangement you want. You can have it sort of really drop down, tilt it up, come all the way up. That's more for flight mode, but you know, do it what you want. It's fine. It's fine. I like these nice thrusty vents down here. That's pretty good. So actually, I'm a big fan. I kind of really dig this guy. So let us move on to accessories. We'll talk about the most useless ones, and that is the little pilot figures there. So the in the suit and not in the suit, and you know, I'm just gonna hold on to these like I had for pretty much all the rest of them. Use them as custom down the line, something like I did in Mini Tolf. You do have his bazonga rifle. It's really nice. Could be something of a variation of the one that comes with the Zeta. Not sure. Just taking a guess on that one. Comes all in blue except for the white bit here, and you do get your stickers that you put on it. Does look pretty cool. Does have the kind of ammo canister back here that sort of is removable, I guess. And then the handle can tilt away for storage. We'll get that here in a second. And you do have the old school type of hands that uses the slot in the wrist, in the palm, and you just kind of do that number, and he holds it pretty well, not gonna lie. I digs it, and then you can tilt it ever so slightly to get it into the armpit. So you can be like pew pew, pew, pew. Now, one thing that is interesting about said rifle is the fact that it has a camera right there, facing backwards. Now, I'm assuming that is supposed to kind of link up to those cameras, like a scope sort of, or I don't know. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Maybe it has more sense, in flight mode than it does in this. And it did apply a little bit of excess red sticker inside there that's not actually part of the thing or in the instructions. I just did it because I do that. Okay, so I'm going to fold that away for the moment. What did I do? It has shieldy shield. So he does have a shieldy shield, which looks like this. It's a very small shield, but it does what it needs to do. It's also more of a cannon because it really just has a gun under there. It does have 2 extra ammo canisters. I don't know if that's meant for this or they're meant as extra for this, but as the instructions showed, you can ever so slightly pivot them using the shield mount, and then you can totally pull one out if for some reason you feel like doing that. I don't know why. It does have big holes in it. That's for other things. And then EFSF logo there. You got your little star anchor and then a very crooked number 11 because, you know, it is what it is. Now, the biggest problem is, of course, that with these types, you have to plug them into the back of the arm. So you just pop it on like so, and then you have to deal with the fact that his arm is now in the wrong direction. You can, if you tilt the arm forward ever so slightly, you can kind of get it behind, but he's hitting the backpack. That's very annoying. Now, if you want to, you can kind of extend the arm ever so likely, like that. Now, one thing that's interesting, that shield gives you access to a whole other gimmick. So if we come down here to the forearm, you can see this little door here. If we pop that open and plug the shield in, this is something like you would get out of like a 90s toy. You just slide that forward, and bazunga, you have your beam sabers. Now, I don't know that I can get one of those out of there, but what I can do, let's bump my thing, you can grab one of these and pull it back out. Now, the thing is, you would have to have some type of tool, like a screwdriver or something like that, to slide that forward. But he does have, oops, I got some dry transfer material here. He does have just really basic beam sabers. Has the little tab in there so you can plug it into the palm. I generally don't point these things out. In fact, I don't even think I've talked about beam sabers, like actually actively showed beam sabers on a kit in a while. I'm just like, you know, we know what beam sabers look like. So that is pretty cool. I'm trying to get it in his hand and it ain't working because his thumb is in the way. But, you know, that's what that is. And I like weapon storage. And, you know, we always say around here, weapon storage is
always good.
Always good. Oops. Come on. Come on, buddy. Close it back up. There we go. Now, the other thing is, because he does have weapon storage on the other side, technically speaking, you can open that up, and then you also still need to do the thing. So I kind of wish he'd come with 2 shields. So I'm just going to use this to slide that out. Now, over here is not a thing I can get out. I'm going to be honest. So I only have one of these because the other one fell on the floor somewhere in the living room. What he has over here is a couple of cool looking grenades. They also look very suggestive and to be other types of items that, well, frankly, a mobile suit wouldn't need, but some lucky lady might. I'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to knock that off. So that's pretty cool. And if you're feeling ever so randy, you can store the rifle on the gun. And once again, weapon storage is
always good.
always good. All right, so for those who went and watched the transformation video, good for you. Or if you came back to watch it at this point, yay. Or if you're going to watch it later, well, you'll see how we got to this point. So this is its really weird Wave Rider mode, and really, wow. I did have some issues with it. You'll see that in the video. The first time I transformed it, way less issues. Now, this is only the second time I've transformed it. So new stuff cropped up in just one transformation cycle. But it is pretty neat. And as I say in the video, you don't have to remove the hands to make it happen. But if you want a much smoother look, you totally can, because they just end up right here. But that's up to you. I think it kind of looks like the Astro Megaship with the hands hanging out the back, which is pretty cool. And of course, you got the thrusters and everything in a new place. What's interesting to me is that, well, aside from like here on the legs, there's no real thrusters down on this section. Everything's up top, but I guess it's meant to fly through space. Now, one thing I forgot to show off previously, I'll cover at the end. But as you can see, we do have a stand adapter right there, which is all handy dandy, not gonna lie. I really appreciate that. And this is the MG stand that I built on a live stream because I was bored and wanted to have something to mount my Banshee to, but I can't find the Banshee stand adapter. So there it is on an MG stand, and well, it's a little wobbly, but that has probably more to do with the way the stand works than anything else. But it's a pretty neat flight mode. Now, the closest thing I've gotten to this would be the Zeta, or the Amazon Gundam, so to speak. It's probably the closest thing to this, but it doesn't transform anything like this. So, in fact, that is mostly parts forming. This is a real transformation. The only parts forming you really do on this, as you watch the video, is the shield. The shield / rifle is the only thing that you really have to move. Everything else is just there, and I dig it. I like that you have these cameras here that I guess, from the chest are now helping you fly. And then whatever these are, I guess extra sensors, so to speak. But even like the gun sensor, I guess, because it's rear facing, it's under here, is helping you see behind you, because most of the other sensors, especially like the ones on the arms, are kind of covered at this point. I guess they're facing, yeah, they're facing inward, so they're really not doing you good. But it's an interesting flight mode, to say the least. He does have two forward-facing cannons, so there's that. Though he does lose a little bit of usage of the Vulcans, so oh well. Now, given how this is, now I've always wanted like the Type C, Type D from the Revel Fleet version. I still kind of do, but man, the weapons on that have got to be ridiculous, especially once you get to Wave Rider mode. So if I ever get my hands on that for a decent price, one particular place had it for $100 when it's clearly a $65 kit. It even has it in yen on there. It's $65. They wanted $100. I'm like, wouldn't mind the sniper version either. That'd be pretty cool. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and take him back to bot mode, or mobile suit mode. Go back and watch the transformation video if you haven't done that. And then we'll do final thoughts in comparison to other suits from Unicorn. How about that? Okay, so back from all that mess. Once again, you guys didn't get to see that, but it was a thing. Make sure you watch the transformation video. Now, something I did forget real quick is his crotch adapter. He does have a very interesting crotch going on down here. And this will just plug up in there. I'm trying to be careful with the hips because I just don't want them doing hippie things. And now he has a crotch dongle. Now, I tend to leave mine. I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of fine with them just always being there. So more than likely, his will always just sort of be there. But there he is, actually on the stand. It's something I don't always show off, but in this case, it's a unique situation with a flight mode and stuff like that. I might actually do the thumbnail on the stand, just because I can get a cool dynamic pose, which is always the good thing about having a flight stand, right? Right. Okay, so that's enough of that. How about we pull the crotch bag out, do some quick comparisons. Okay, so I'm going to have to back up a little bit because these are master grade comparisons. So we've got him. Then the last one we did, the nice updated gym, so to speak, with the Jesta. Now, if I remember correctly, at some point, like there's a Jesta that like grabs onto a ReZEL to go for a fly. And then here's our boy, Jagan. I like Jagan. Jagan actually reminds me a lot of the original RGZ. Like, I think there's some similarities there. And actually, if you look in the book, if you remember the unboxing, they show you some like evolution, so to speak, here. So like with the Hyakashiki, then the Zeta, then the RGZ-95, that kind of stuff like that. How sort of has evolved over time. And then I have not, read all that because it's in different language, obviously. And yeah, I did not do the yellow in the thrusters because I wasn't about to try to do that. Now, if you need to see a little bit more here, mobile suit history, so going all the way back to whatever this thing is, MSA 005, MSN 100, so Hyakashiki. And then you've got like the, what is it, the Delta, I believe? Could be wrong. And then you've got the regular Zeta, the RGZ, and then sort of how the Jagan sort of gets you to here. So kind of a combination of this guy and this guy gets you to there, technologically, so to speak. So it's pretty neat. I digs it, and yeah. It would be cool to get a DMG Delta Plus. That'd be neat. So there we go. There's our unicorn boys, so to speak. And yeah, I'm not bringing out the unicorn fork because this is all about the normal guys, the guys on the grunt suits, even the flight grunt suits. So it is what it is. I really did enjoy this build. The transformation is the most daunting part. The actual build is interesting. It was new to me. Literally have not built anything like it before. Even say the couple different transforming wing Gundams I've done, don't really compare. Just a very different type of thing. And then, so we have another transforming flying Gundam coming later. That'll be a little bit different. Now, if you want to make the argument that this guy is kind of a Gundam because Gundam makes up its name, fine. Except it's more of a grunt suit. It's more like a Gundam ground type, where there was like more than one type of situation. So better technology, stuff like that. But that's why it's called a refined Gundam Zeta. So it's like the evolution of the Zeta itself. Yeah, it's just a neat idea. Oh, I guess technically speaking, I do have the double Zeta to work on at some point, so that's going to be a thing. But guys, give me a big old thumbs up if you like this video. If you have any comments, of course, I'll leave them down below. I was thinking about doing a repaint on this one, but then I got confused because I think I was going to repaint him. Somebody's getting a repaint down the line. I just don't know which. And compared to these two, actually, Jesta looks kind of naked because I didn't bother putting on the decals because I wasn't sure if I was going to paint him or not. But of course, thanks for watching Master Great Monday, guys. Go watch the transformation video because doing that is a whole separate thing. You're welcome. Because this video was slightly long enough, even without doing a transformation. I know you guys hate watching it, and I hate doing it, but, you know, some people do want to know how you get there. So, but I will catch you on the next one. Oh, wait, MS100 contest is wrapping up. If you want to enter very quickly and can throw together a Master Grade in, like, a week, I suggest going and doing it. So, links as always in the description down below. If you want to buy merch, by all means do that. If you just want to donate to the cause, by all means. The output has not been exactly what I anticipated. So there it is, what it is. But I will catch you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on building.